can we get to HiFi's super chat here?
Oh shoot, yeah.
He says, it's been a while. Walk me through optimizing integration of 802.D4 tower ported with dual SB16s sealed, placed in opposite corners of the room. So first of all, thank you for the super chat.
Yep.
Optimizing integration of 802.D towers ported with sealed. Ported. Dual SB16 sealed, placed in opposite corners of the room. So it sounds like the SB16s are placed in a good place. I assume that your 802Ds are also in a good place. I think the reason why you probably said ported and sealed is because at the port tuning you get a phase inversion, and so you're saying like how do you cross those over without that cancellation if you were to phase line them? I think the answer is really you cross over at a place prior to where the port tuning is. So wherever that phase inversion is happening at the port tuning of the 802Ds, it'll be much lower in response. Right? So you just cross over higher. I don't know exactly what the crossover point is there, but I'm sure it's not 80, right? I don't think they have those things are crossed over at 80. Or not crossover, but I don't think the port tuning is at 80 hertz. It's probably like, I don't know, 30 or 40 or something like that. Or lower.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think if you crossed over at 80, you'd be fine. I would say the key is for bass is not so much about time alignment, right? You do want to get up as time aligned as possible. Like if you were to look at an impulse response, like a sound that plays like instantaneously, supposedly, right? Theoretically, it's supposed to be like all the frequencies playing it in one instance. You'd see a spike, right? But for bass, it's really hard to see that spike. It's more of like instead of like one spike, you'll see kind of like a roundy thing, right? Like that's the peak. And so you gotta a
roundy thing.
Yeah, kind of like a little roundy thing like this. And what you want to do is align that, assuming you're using like something like REW and you're taking the measurement there. So you want to align that first impulse, right? First peak, but that's not the most important part. It's actually the most important part is to make sure that at the point where you're crossing it over, let's say 80 hertz, that the phase of the two is aligned. You kind of want them to have the same angle at least. Am I doing that right? Same angle at the crossover point so that the two are working together. So if you have them phase aligned, what you'll notice is when they blend, it'll just create it'll be a smooth blend, right? If you don't have it phase aligned properly, you'll see this and then you'll see this, right? It'll go down, or it's possible you can get a thing, but that would be using the wrong crossover slopes probably would make it go up. But typically if you're using 24 dB per octave symmetrical slopes, right, which is typical on your normal AVRs. Sorry if I'm getting super nerdy here, but this is where my brain is at right now. You're using 24, then they usually sum properly. That's what you should get. That's basically it. So when you phase line them, it might throw off the timing a little bit. So when you look at the impulse response, instead of the peak being at the same place as the impulse, it might be slightly over a little bit, and that's fine. That's more important than perfect time alignment is less important than good phase alignment at the crossover. Did I say anything that's incorrect here? I ask Aaron because I just talk. I just say these things off 3 hours.
To be honest with you, man, I was busy looking at something else. This guy said something about these JAMO speakers, and I was like,
I was ignoring your ass.
Listen, man, there's a question about did we see the new JAMO speakers? And I'm like, they got new speakers, so I went and looked, and they're not new.
Well, here's what's good.
All right, what did I miss?
To me, that's a compliment because I feel like
I let Joe just go, man. I don't feel like I have to.
I feel like that I'm not saying anything ridiculously stupid because if I was like saying something real silly, I think he'd kind of be like, I'm gonna have to jump in here in 1 second here. Let me
rewind that. Do that one again. No,
yeah. Rewind it back.
So like, if my response was just listen, just use your heart and just go by how it feels. And then he'd be like, yeah. That's what
Aaron.
See,
Aaron starts paying attention. Just measure your ears. I think that's your heart. If you hear the chocolatey bottom end, then you
chocolatey bottom end. Every time I use that in one of my reviews, inevitably I get 2 or 3 replies saying chocolatey bottom end, LOL, and I'm like, yes, people are watching.
Chocolatey bottom end, dizzle.
That's right.
Drizzle.
Yeah, that's what somebody commented on his video, said dizzle. Did you see that one?
Dizzle. Yeah. It's Michael, the same guy who replies every one of my videos. He replies, E-Dizzle, yo, E-Dizzle.
Oh,
it's pretty funny.
I remember.
So if he's watching back, thank you, man. I appreciate those. I get a laugh every time I see it.
All right, everybody. We do the Daily Hi-Fi podcast every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you join up to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Daily Hi-Fi, and we will see you there for the big show every Monday. Yeah.